Welcome everyone to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is in fact a live YouTube vidcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're going to conclude our season 2 reviews of The Mandalorian with chapter 16, The Rescue.
Oh man.
Fucking Christ. This is the culmination of everything we have ever wanted since Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
And everybody that doesn't like this does not like Star Wars, and they should fuck.
And that's just the way
Period.
it is. You got to deal
This
with
is the way.
I've watched it only 3 times. The first time we watched it live and we did a live commentary. The second time I watched it with my wife and I was freaking out. And I just watched it right before this. And I think it hit me emotionally more this third time watching it than it did the first 2 times.
Agreed. I am in the exact same boat. Watched it with you, obviously. Watched it at work, and then last night by myself with headphones on in front of my actual TV, not my computer monitor. And man, that finale, like that end scene, there were tears this time.
It's weird that it takes a couple watchings to really grip you like that. Because like the first time I was just in shock, like, oh my gosh, yes, they're actually doing it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the second time I was like, look, they're actually fucking doing it. And the third time I could just sink into the moment. And I was actually kind of wondering, we're gonna get to the review here in a second. I'm just doing initial thoughts. I was wondering after having watched it again if they updated the CGI at the very end, or if they're going to, or if not, because I watched it the first time on my phone, and so I couldn't really tell details because I have these lights shining in my face. And I didn't really think about it when I was watching it with my wife, but I was really paying attention to it this third time, and it didn't look bad to me. Like
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good.
It was only when he's
this time around, seeing
wonky.
it, it's like they didn't really do much work with his mouth.
Yeah.
So it kind of looked like he was talking like this the whole time, and it's like, man, they did so much better in Rogue One and in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
You think they would have done that with this?
Well, the thing is they do a completely different version of de-aging for the Marvel films than they do for the Star Wars ones, which is really weird. And they were well, okay, so let's get into this. This was because we got a lot to talk about here. Hey, Wade,
we got a little bit to talk about.
Yeah. This was written by Jon Favreau, directed by Peyton Reed of Ant-Man fame. He actually directed another film, the Ice Spiders episode of this series. It was released on December 18th, a week ago, and Mark Hamill co-stars in this episode as the famous Jedi Luke Skywalker. They used a CGI version of Hamill's de-aged face and digitally animated it over a body double using motion capture. And so here's the argument that people are making. None of this was actually Hamill. The body wasn't Hamill. Not even, some people are saying the voice wasn't even Hamill, which I thought
voice
would be
was
weird.
Hamill.
It seemed like Hamill to me, but like a softer Hamill.
Yeah.
But he's a voice actor, so I feel like...
that's kind of what he's been doing his entire fucking career.
That's just what he does. The technique was previously used in the franchise with the appearance of young Princess Leia in the 2016 film Rogue One. And then, of course, in the final sequel trilogy film when they showed a flashback of Luke and Leia being trained together, or training together. Oh, man. Do you want to run through the walkthrough here?
Jesus Christ. So this one starts it's a fucking start.
Yeah.
There's no cold open. It's just as soon as, the credits end or the intro ends, you've got Slave One just blasting down a Lambda class shuttle.
Cool.
I mean, just immediately into the action. It's got Dr. Persing, right?
Yeah.
Just saying this. Okay. And 2 Lambda transport pilots. And they're just trying to get the hell away from Boba Fett. And then they get boarded, and that's some shit. That one guy really gets under Cara Dune's skin.
Yeah, he's like, and I always love this series because it always presents the opposite perspective of the good versus bad guys, and because the entire series is based on running right down the middle of it, you get to see these 2 extremes really, really well. And to see that pilot make that argument, there were thousands of people murdered, with the death, and the galaxy cheered with the destruction of the Death Stars. I mean, it happened. It's a valid point. You know, I
That's
mean,
true. They were the terrorists,
yeah.
not the Empire.
And so being forced to see it that way, but then of course we're always going to be siding with the rebels because that they're the heroes of this entire universe.
Mhm.
Um, Watching Cara Dune go through that emotional journey of I'm not going to kill this guy, I'm going to fucking kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, he's all, I was on the Death Star. He's all, which one? And like, she was doing it as a snide comment, but you could see she was holding back emotion. And the actress who plays Cara Dune, Gina Carano, you know, she's a wrestler by training. She's a bodybuilder by training.
Mhm.
She's not an actress by training. And when she was
No.
in Deadpool, not very good. But she's really grown into an acting, I think. Like I was
feel like she's
impressed.
gotten worse over
Oh, really?
over time. Yeah. Like Deadpool, she really didn't have much going on. She just had to fight and look pretty.
Yeah.
First season, I mean, you know, there was a little bit of back and forth with her, but it was mostly action sequences. With this one, you know, we're getting a lot more dialogue and a lot more character exposition, and it's just
No,
like there's times where she'll do one little tiny thing that just takes me out, but not enough that I'm like, oh fuck her, fuck this character. But yeah, no, I mean, I still like her.
Yeah. Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Watching Pershing is just like an intermediary. You know, he's like, look, I'm just doing my job. Like this is my professional career. I'm a cloner. It was never illegal. It's not wrong to do it. It's always been done. So why am I a pawn in all this shit? So he'll fold to whoever's in charge in this situation. I thought that was great. But yeah, after they get him, they head over to wait, what planet did they go to find Bo-Katan and Costa Reeves? Ugh.
I don't remember what the planet's
Yeah, it's
called.
just a cantina. I don't see a name of it. Anyway, do you want to pick up from there?
Yeah, so that's a fun sequence too, when Boba Fett and Din Djarin decide to walk into the cantina looking for him, because you know they're like, oh, not all bounty hunters or not all Mandalorians are bounty hunters. And he's like, hey, but they stole my kid, and she's like, hey, let's fucking do this shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit more to it, like, oh, well, you know, Moff Gideon has him. Well, you'll never be able to find him. We got his coordinates. All right, take me to him.
You'll never find him. Actually,
I know where he is. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do some shit.
I got his address right here.
And then the fun part happens where Boba Fett starts running his mouth.
Oh my god.
And they just, you're not a Mandalorian. You don't deserve that armor. Ah, fuck you. This is my dad's armor. Ah, fuck you. Ah, fuck you.
I never said I was. He's just so imposing in that armor. Oh, I love
it's just so damn good. Like, he's the intimidating one out of all of them.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, for sure. There was a brief exchange between Cara and Din that is, I think, really important for the coming seasons whenever they end up coming out. And that's that she says, look, I'll help you, but you got to help me retake Mandalore. And he said, deal. Like on one condition, you help me retake Mandalore. So I think that's clearly where we're going to be going next when Mandalorian comes back.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, especially with the ending, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
so lovely little fight sequence ensues where Boba Fett and Ahsoka Reeves like kick the living shit out of each other, and Bo-Katan's like, if you guys would have shown half this spine when the Empire showed, we wouldn't have lost. And just great little call out, like, hey, quit being bitches.
Yeah.
We got an actual enemy to take care of.
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
It also really, because if you've ever watched the Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, you know that Mandalore has always been an inner turmoil. You know, the Empire or crime syndicates, you know, on the side, it's a clannish society, you know, and clan warfare is a regular on Mandalorian society. And so we're just seeing that played out on live action screen in every tiny little interaction every time more than one Mandalorian's in the room. And it started in season 1 when they were all on the same team, but they were, you know, like hating on each other, like ready to kill each other in the armorer's room. It's just like a normal thing for this society to constantly fight. And then Kara's finally like, look, we got to stop fighting amongst ourselves. I just loved
her
that
name's
so much.
Bo-Katan, not Cara Dune. Just throwing that out there.
I don't even know what a Star Wars is. No, it was great.
And that's when Luke Picard walked in. Whatever the fuck his name is. Jean-Luc, there we go.
All right, you can continue then. I'll go in the
All right.
corner.
So at that point, once all the little crybabies are all on the same team again, uh, they're all back on. I can't remember. Was it the Lambda shuttle, or were they on? Okay, so they're back on the Lambda shuttle, discussing how they're gonna get in, what the plan is once they get there, and just a typical Din fashion. He's like, "I'm going after the kid," and Bo-Katan's like, "Oh, okay. Well, fuck my plans. I guess all of us are gonna go after everybody else, and we'll be your distraction." And then that's what happens.
I thought that was really cool too, because like he was just hiding on the Lambda class, but Boba Fett had to make it look like a believable chase. He's like, "Don't worry, I got it. I'll make it look good."
I fucking love that line. "Don't worry, princess. I'll make it look good."
Boba Fett is like the badass version of Han Solo. You know? He's just like
pretty much
fucking cool as shit. He's so much cool. Fat Boba is so much cooler than Thin Boba.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm that's a hero I can look up to.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing with like Fat and Thin Elvis. There's gonna be people taking sides.
Yeah,
Blood will be spilled. Yeah, I loved it when they watching, because it was very Battlestar Galactica when we saw the TIE fighters going out to intercept the Slave One, watching them shoot out of the starship. We'd never seen that perspective before in Star Wars. It was very, very cool. I mean, maybe a little bit in like Star Wars, the Clone Wars cartoons and stuff, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, it was different because that was the Republic.
Yeah.
And it was also a much bigger ship. Yeah. Like that's where their bay was. This was just got this tiny little exit, and that's where it has to go.
It felt so cool watching it. I loved watching them do that. And then Boba just takes off, and they're like, "You better open that bay because we're coming in."
Yeah,
we're coming in hot. I just loved watching it crash into the docking bay, because again, we've never seen that. That's like a Battlestar Galactica thing, which you always saw if you ever watched the reboot of that. It was just so cool seeing it in Star Wars and seeing the deck officer like shitting his pants.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I don't know what to do at this point. Go look.
Deck officer. Yeah, so they get in and they just start firing, and they take off towards the control bay. Control bay? What is the name of the cockpit? Control room? What is the name of that?
The bridge.
The bridge? That's Star Trek. Very Star Trek right there. Anyway, they go that direction, and Din waits for them to clear out, and he goes out looking for the child, where Dr. Pershing told him the child would be held in detention. Meanwhile, they know that the Dark Troopers are on there. It takes a couple minutes to get them powered up, and so Din is rushing to try to shut down the door and sort of lock the panel doors to prevent the Dark Troopers from coming out. So we get to see these sort of, at the same time, flashing back and forth between this female team of kick-ass Star Wars characters, which you've never seen an all-female team before. So it was very natural. It was like in Marvel Endgame.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about it being an all-female thing.
Yeah, in Endgame,
that's where
they
Star
made
Wars
a
does
huge
this
point.
shit so right. It just is. They're just characters.
Yeah. And the only reason why I make note of it is because we had such a huge hubbub during the sequel trilogy of people freaking out over female characters in Star Wars, and saying it was a political thing. And this, clearly it wasn't political. Clearly it was just characters being their characters, and it was honest and awesome. So I loved it so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is Star Wars. Like, it was never a thing. Like, even from the first fucking movie. Yep. Leia didn't need them to rescue her. She was the one that ended up fucking saving their asses to begin with. Like, oh, cool, you got me out of this place that I could have got out eventually. Well, you guys need out. Okay, go, run, hurry. That's just how it's always been.
Oh, Princess Leia, I miss you. Yeah, so then we get... The only thing that really kind of bugged me about that was when Kara's rifle started jamming.
Yeah,
it was just a weird thing to add in. It's never been done in Star Wars before. I don't know why.
It's a fucking battery pack.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like actual, like, you don't have like this thing that the bolts are in. It's plasma.
It felt like they were trying to play it for comedic effect, but it didn't work at all
Yeah,
comedically.
no, it wasn't funny at
It was
all.
it was just awkward and weird the whole time. And
Mm.
then, they're like, "Do you need help?" And she's like hitting it and swearing and like, slamming on the ground, and then it works and she's like, "Nope, I got it." What the fuck was the point of all that?
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
wasn't. Yeah, I'm
That was
pretty sure that was just for a chuckle, but
yeah.
I don't think anybody laughed.
But then so they take the bay, the control room, pretty simply too. And then they just stay there. They're just like, okay.
Well, because the plan was to meet up, like everybody was going to meet up at the bridge, and then that's how they were going to, finish the mission. Just fucking take off with the ship.
Right.
So of course that's when we go back to Din, and he's coming up on the brig, and lo and behold, the doors are opening, and oh fuck, there's a whole platoon of dark troopers. Luckily, he manages to close the door most of the way, and only one of them sneaks out. But holy shit. Actually getting to see one of those in action, like even just a 1-1 fight, was just insane. Like he's putting bolts in it. He's shooting off all his shit. What are those things called? Anyways, his dope ass rocket launcher thing.
I can't remember what she called him.
Yeah, it's like screaming something or I don't remember.
Phoenix or screaming fairies or
no, the Phoenix. That's the whole.
Josh, yeah, that's the jetpack.
Yeah.
Josh.
Anyways, like he is doing everything he can to fuck this thing up, and it's just like, oh, fuck you, guy. I'm gonna punch you in your face, and he does. He beats the living shit out of him, and it's just great because it shows the integrity of Beskar, where that trooper is punching the fuck out of him, and all it's doing is pushing his head back more and more into the ship itself. And then only thing that.
Let's not look over the fact that his brain is rattling in that helmet too. Like it's not just.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's getting fucked up.
Yeah.
But at least he's not getting squish kebabbed. That's the thing.
It frustrates me when people complain about stuff like this scene. I heard people complain about because it's like, well, there's no actual danger because he's all safe in there. No, if you're in a football helmet and you're getting hit head to head on the field, you get brain damage. Like he is getting knocked around. He's gonna have a freaking concussion or something. There's real problems that are happening right now just because his head's not getting squished. His brain is knocking around.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever heard of fucking car accidents and getting whiplash? Same thing. That car is not touching you at all.
Yeah.
But you're fucked now. Like it's come on. Of course there's danger.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And he's getting choked out the whole time too. Like let's not forget that. Like he is going to die if he doesn't do something, which he does something, and he pulls out the fucking staff and stabs it in the face.
Yeah.
Which that was awesome.
It like pops his head like a bottle cap or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. I really liked it when he was like
I'm skipping over the whole flamethrower into the chest thing. Like that was dope as hell.
Well, like in his head, he was like, I'm just gonna burn all these circuits, fuck this droid. And it just got scarier. It was like
it's
hellfire.
like, well, that's menacing as hell.
I was just like, oh my gosh, you made it so much worse. Holy shit. Run.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
It's like shit, now it's a fucking ball rod.
Yeah. Such a great fight scene. Just watching him get thrown around like a rag doll. It reminded me of playing Dark Forces and getting my ass handed to me by those stupid Dark Troopers. It's no joke. Those things are badass. Except they had more rockets in the game. Surprised they didn't have any rockets in this.
Yeah.
But it is nice because we did see them end up not just, rock'em sock'em robots. I mean, we saw them firing their rifles and stuff like that too. So I do kind of hope we see future iterations of them actually fighting, rather than just punching and stuff.
Mm.
They have to have more of them, right?
I would imagine.
Like maybe that's just one starship's worth of battery.
I mean, it's a single platoon, so I would imagine that there's probably more.
He's part of the 7th Fleet, which is Thrawn's fleet. I mean, his patch is the 7th Fleet. So if they tie that together, and he has those Dark Troopers, then Thrawn's gotta have some. And to see that be like a Mandalore battle scene, oh, dude.
That would be sweet.
Fucking love that. That'd be so badass. So he ends up like jetpack or opening the bay doors, and very Ripley throws him into space, and then goes over to the detention cell where Grogu is sitting nice and comfortably and just kind of chilling, and we see the Moff Gideon just standing there all menacing with the Darksaber right over Grogu. Like,
Yeah.
not safe.
No, not at all.
It's a
Especially when he
dangerous-
starts like pretending to caress him with the blade.
That's so creepy.
It's like, I swear to God, if you burn any of his hairs off, I will kill you.
Yeah. This was a weird dialogue interaction to me. Like,
Mhm.
I understand that Moff Gideon was just fucking with him, waiting
Mhm.
for him to let down his guard. But for Din to go along with it, it didn't feel right. It didn't seem natural. I don't know. The whole time I was just like, this is weird. Why? He's
Mhm.
like, I already got what I need to do. I just wanted to study his blood. Go ahead and take the kid and, just get off my ship. And Din's like, they're okay. What?
Well, I think for me, I just figured he was playing into it because I mean, he was ready for that fucking attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it was some surprise, like where he got smacked down on his ass. Like, he flips around and throws up his gauntlets because he knew.
Yeah.
But it's like, what else is he going to do at that point? He doesn't have any weapons. The child's right there. Fucking all right, let's see how this plays out.
That's true. I don't know. The dialogue felt wonky to me.
It
action
did.
felt
It
good,
did
though.
feel a little off. It's like the Moff was backed into a corner when he wasn't at all. He was the one with the upper hand at that point.
Yeah. It was just kind of odd. But watching them fight, holy shit.
God, that was so good.
Totally worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, I'm confused about one thing. Are the
Okay.
Dark Troopers using Beskar metal?
See, that's what I was wondering too, because that's what it seems like, because we've never really noticed any plasteel that actually has deflecting capabilities.
Right.
So, but I mean, then we get to the end and we're seeing somebody do something super awesome, and that super awesome shit's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost wonder if it's just a different form of plasteel. Maybe if it's plasteel mixed with Beskar, so it's got a little bit more durability.
Right.
But I don't really know because they don't really explain it.
Or is the Darksaber not as strong as as intensified as a lightsaber? Is it the person using it?
It is no, it's the Darksaber is like it's one of the most powerful lightsabers there is.
Yeah, so that also sort of caught me. I was like, huh.
Yeah, so that was the one thing, yeah, I didn't quite understand. Like I assumed because of the emphasis on, Beskar in the last 2 seasons that it would just come to reason that the Dark Troopers would be made of Beskar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And,
I'm assuming it's just some sort of stronger plasteel. That's what it has to be.
I mean, watching Ahsoka fight Din, and Din is literally holding off her 2 lightsabers with his armor, his Beskar armor, and then watching the Darksaber almost going through that Beskar shield when they were in, close combat, and then watching at the very end, seeing a lightsaber just mow through those Dark Troopers, I was just like, what the fuck? I don't get it. But
yeah, so they can't be made of Beskar.
Yeah.
But there's I mean, they definitely did something with the plasteel to make it significantly stronger.
I do really like seeing the Darksabers almost going through that Beskar staff, though.
Yeah.
Like
it just shows how menacing that is.
Yeah. Oh man. Knowing
because it's set up that is pure Beskar.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh gosh. So I wonder if every lightsaber would have that same effect, or if it's just the Darksaber because it's better or whatever. That's interesting. Like time and intensity.
That's kind of my guess, because I mean, if it's something that's created by a Mandalorian, why wouldn't the Mandalorian make it more powerful than other elements of their culture?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Jedi that did create the Darksaber did inevitably end up going back to Mandalore.
Right.
So
yeah,
I don't know. So it's something interesting to think about.
Absolutely. Either way, he ends up besting him, not killing him, which is very interesting. I feel like this whole fight could have been seen on the monitors in the control room.
Mm-hmm.
So when he drags Moff Gideon and the Darksaber into the control room, I feel like they should already have known.
So that was sort of loosely explained, because once they do take the bridge, was it? I think it was the other Mandalorian person. I forget her name. whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But somebody went in and pulled the
Oscar Reeves.
yeah, there we go. Somebody did go in and pull the code cylinder, and that's what shut off all the weapon systems and all that stuff. And you do catch a glimpse of the monitor going static once that's pulled.
Okay.
So that would be my guess,
Yeah.
my explanation as to why they didn't realize what was going on.
I would have really liked to have seen a sequence where, at the very beginning, when they first face off, Bo-Katan sees it in the monitor and just jets for him, trying to get there
Yeah.
as fast as she can, and then she gets there right after he's defeated. That would have been a more impactful moment for me than watching him walk into the control room, into the bridge,
Mhm.
and seeing it there. I just thought it would have been more interesting. But either way, it's very nice because
I mean,
now
it's
she's
yeah,
conflicted.
yeah, it's super powerful. Like you see it on her face, just pew.
So
Like she's like, fuck.
yeah. So there's a lot of back and forth about people like in Star Wars Rebels. Sabine Wren just handed the dark saber to Bo-Katan and she took it and then she ruled. Now she's saying she can't take it. What do you sort of headcanon? Why do you think that she won't take it now?
Uh, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Was there anybody really around when Sabine gave it to her?
Yeah, there
'Cause I
was
can't.
because immediately they were like coming down a ramp. Sabine handed it to her and she like held it up and all of her troops
Oh
moved
yeah,
over.
yeah, I heard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the hell the emphasis would be changed so much. I mean, of course, it makes sense from a story standpoint because then it's going to continue, well, their interactions together because she is going to have to stay with Din from now on because, well, he's the fucking Mandalore.
Mhm.
Um, so I get it on that end, but yeah, the complete 180 of how serious she takes it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's something we could go on and on about
Yeah.
for a while, but we probably won't know for another year.
Yeah, I mean, Moff Gideon does straight up explain the rules of the dark saber, which is nice for people who don't know that it
Mhm.
has to be won in combat, and then that person is, by all rights, the Mandalore, the person in charge. That the sword doesn't have any, extra powers. It's just defeating someone in combat has that. It's all about appearances,
Mhm.
and that's why I think that she is forcing the to sort of toe that line this time because when it was handed it to her, she lost it. We don't know how. We don't know what happened,
Mhm.
but she lost it. And so I think maybe there's some infighting. People didn't think she actually deserved to have it because she didn't win it in combat, and that's why this time she's like, no, I have to.
Mhm.
I have to get it the right way so that I can
Yeah,
rule the
no,
right
that
way.
would make perfect sense.
I like that. Josh says, I go along with, she's disgraced after losing it and has to regain her honor to get her respect back. I like that a lot, Josh.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But it is nice seeing Gideon just gleeful. He's
Oh
just
yeah,
like, you
he's
guys have to kill each other. You
yeah,
have to fight now.
they are doing exactly what he wanted them to do,
Yeah.
and it's so great to see.
And
So it
then
just shows just how much of a badass he is. Like
yeah.
that's something you really don't get in the movies at all, or really the shows. Like it's mostly in the books, like just how nefarious and
Yeah.
just devious the fucking ISB are. Like the Empire is scared of them, and they are a part of the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah. Um then we get to see the dark troopers come back. Just
Mhm.
flying right back in. And everyone's like, oh yeah, they can fly. Fuck. Like
Yeah.
everyone collectively watching is just like, oh shit.
How many life forms? 0. Bum bum bum.
Yeah, I loved seeing that sort of external camera shot of them entering, and then Gideon's just like grinning ear to ear. He's just like, "It's over. We all know that you're gonna put up a valiant effort, but in the end, everyone will be dead but me and the child." And just like,
Yeah,
"Oh shit, you guys are fucked."
pretty
It's over.
much.
Cause yeah, just watching Din try to take one of them, and he barely got through it.
Hmm.
Now there's like a platoon of them. You're
Yeah, there's like
screwed.
easily like 15, like 10 or 15 of them. Like they're fucked.
Yeah.
Period.
And we get that alarm. And they're like, there's an
Approaching
incoming
ship.
ship. Do you want to pick it up from there?
Oh my god.
So
That's
good.
when everybody loses their shit. And it's funny because I've talked to some people and people are like, oh, well, it was just a random X-Wing. And it's like, no, I fucking knew from the second we saw an X-Wing pulling up who the fuck it was. Period. There was no question. I'm like, oh, that motherfucker's gonna get out. He's gonna be wearing a black cloak.
Yep.
He's gonna have a green lightsaber,
Yep.
and then sure shit, lands in the bay, jumps out. All you see is just the camera shots of him coming in, like the security cam, and just black cloak, and then green saber. It's just like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it. I just barely fucking watched this.
Yeah.
It's just so insane, and I love just how nonchalantly he's going through, just taking them out
like a fucking idiot again.
Oh, hey, no, because at least you did it. Oh, a spoiler.
Spoiler, sorry. I just put random on the images. So it'll go through a bunch of them. I'm going to
yeah,
be shorter.
God, the best part of all of that, because we don't see him until he actually comes up onto the bridge, but the scene where he gets out of the lift, and it's just pretty much a shot for shot version or redo of the 1084 bridge scene or tube scene with Vader on Rogue One. Just so goddamn beautiful.
It was so good.
Goes through and owns all of them. And it's like, we saw Din, who was arguably an excellent warrior. I mean, he's from a class of warrior. Like, that's what they are first and foremost. And he's one of the top ones. And yeah, just Luke just destroys him like it's nothing.
And he's using all of the tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Like every force power that we've seen him use before, and then some, which I loved. There's just something really special about him using like force push and pull, and then cutting them down, and then deflecting blaster bolts, and then seeing that end, the very last one where he like force crushes them.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that was badass.
Yeah.
Fucking Luke Skywalker's the best in the goddamn universe. He's so goddamn cool. Yeah, I was losing my fucking mind. I mean, we were watching it live, and I was trying to hold myself together. But yeah, watching it this third time, I was just like, I love Luke Skywalker so goddamn much. Like, this is the Luke that I absolutely love. Is the young post Return of the Jedi. I hope we get to see more of him.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I don't want to see him take over this show because it's the Mandalorian. But do you think we'll ever see him in this show again? Before we finish up, or
I would imagine, because we're gonna, like, there's no way in hell we're not gonna see Grogu again, and it would just make sense that if we're seeing Grogu, Luke Skywalker's award, we're gonna see Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. So he cuts down all the dark troopers, and he just stands outside the door, just waiting. He can sense Grogu, and Grogu can sense him, which I really loved. You saw as soon as the X-wing came in, you saw his ears prick up. And then he turned and started looking and touching the screens and stuff. Like, he felt him. And then Din is like, open the doors. And the Mandalorian's like, are you crazy? No. You saw, because of course, Mandalorians, they don't know who this is. Which, I don't know why they would know. But, in the fucking Star Wars universe, there's kind of only him that could have shown up. There's a whole bunch of other hypotheses about who else could possibly be, but he was the most logical Jedi to show up looking for Grogu.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like people in world should know who he is. Moff Gideon knew who he was because he tried to fucking kill himself so he wouldn't have to face him.
Yeah.
Which was like, I don't want to gloss over that. How scared do you have to be? You see Luke Skywalker, the guy, as far as you know, literally killed the Emperor and literally killed Darth Vader and literally cut down both of the goddamn Death Stars. He's coming to your door. Like, what? You're going to die.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but he's going to be taken into New Republic intelligence.
Yeah. Because
Cara Dune's a part of the New Republic. So, yeah, I mean, that would just make sense, especially going along with the whole, hyper Nazi aspect of the Imperial Remnant. Like, that's just what you would have to do.
Oh, you know what I didn't do is add the new images. I took some screenshots. I'm going to add those in while we're talking.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, just that. God, and that scene. That's the one that'll make you fucking tear up a little.
For sure. I got misty.
Because, of course, like, he's so staunch about his sect of the Mandalorians, the Children of the Watch. and never removing his helmet.
Mhm.
And we've seen him do it a couple of times, but it's always just been such like a you see and feel the turmoil in his soul doing that.
Yep.
With this, it was, oh well, he wants to touch my face. Why the fuck am I wearing this helmet? And he just takes it off so him and Grogu can have that moment of connection before they're separated.
Yeah.
That's fucking heavy. Like I teared up this time.
Yeah,
Like legit. It's just like, god damn.
He rescued him in episode 1, and now chapter 1, in chapter 16, it's just like I've got to let you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we've been doing. This is where we've been heading, and it's time. And fuck, because no one in the audience wants Grogu to leave.
Of course
they
not.
see the connection they have. We understand why he needs to leave, and Luke Skywalker clarifies that really wonderfully. He's like, I need to, teach him how to harness his power, or how to use his power. I'm paraphrasing. And I thought that was just beautiful, is that Luke knows that he doesn't belong with him. He's not going to be taking him forever. He just has to train him a little bit to teach him how to manage the Force powers or his abilities. And then he's going to bring him back. And he said, you'll see him again. Like, I'm not taking this kid. I'm not his dad. You're his dad.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and seeing him Din just staring in Grogu's eyes, and it was the first time I ever noticed Grogu's actual irises and like the cornea in Grogu's eyes. I was just like, oh fuck, it's just a goddamn puppet, Adam. Stop it.
Yeah, but they make it so real. Like, complete side note, did you see the little clip of Robert Rodriguez playing guitar for Grogu?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was laughing like an idiot the whole time. Like, that was just, of course he's gonna fucking play guitar for a puppet. Of course a puppet's gonna react. It's like, that was so great.
Yeah, that gallery episode was awesome.
Yeah, I haven't watched the episode yet. I just saw that clip and it was like, fuck, that's great.
Yeah, there's more too. So it's really fantastic when you do get a chance to watch it. Yeah, so Din hands over, or actually just sets down the child, and then R2-D2 rolls in.
Of course, why wouldn't he?
Of course R2-D2 is going to be with Luke Skywalker. They're fucking best mates. Like, they're fucking homies. But Grogu and R2 have a moment.
They totally do.
Do you think R2 rescued Grogu from the temple? He was there.
I hadn't even thought about that.
He was there with Anakin. Like,
That's
after.
true. That is true. I hadn't even thought about that connection. I just figured he's like, hey, I like friends. You look like a friend. We're friends now. But no, that makes sense.
It's plausible. Like,
yeah, completely.
And the more I think about it, the more I desperately want that to be the case. Because we all know R2 is the real hero of the entire saga. He's literally saved every single main character's life over and over again. Why wouldn't he be the savior of Grogu too?
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Like, fuck. And it just does this wonderful thing of connecting the prequels with the sequels and just tying everything together with this series. I want it to be that so much. I just desperately want it to be true.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, and realistically, like, with just how much love and effort Favreau and Filoni put into this, it's like, that just seems like the next logical step.
Yeah.
That, of course, that's how they're going to tie it in.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, all of this started because Favreau wanted to do a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
Like, all of this is because of that. And it's so crazy.
It's brilliant. I think it's just fucking brilliant. I do want to, like, sort of spit in the Star Wars fans' eye really quick, because for all the bitching and moaning about CGI on his face, on Skywalker's face, you see the still frames. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a little wonky when he speaks, like you mentioned earlier in the episode, but I mean, you can't forgive that. They're literally puppets that we're crying over. Yeah. We're okay with puppets, but we can't have bad CGI in one fucking scene. Fuck you.
It's not even that fucking long. Like, what about all the shit we got before that? Like, watching him do Luke Skywalker shit. Like,
so dope.
Yeah, I think just people just want to bitch about something, and I hate Star Wars fans for that reason, because they can't just like stuff.
We're the worst. We're the worst.
Yeah. Period.
But I don't care. I've loved all of it. I don't care. I don't care how wonky little scenes are, or if something doesn't land perfectly for me. The overarching desire to see what has been in my child heart, I actually got to see, and that
Hmm.
is worth any flub. You know, any
Hmm.
little
Yeah, absolutely.
fucking whatever glitch or anything. Oh, it was so great. All right. So, what's your favorite moment of this episode? Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, so how the fuck? Okay, Jesus Christ, Adam.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
We haven't even finished the fucking episode yet. So, of course, it ends on the bridge with Luke and R2 taking Grogu off. And then we just see what we assume is going to be the cast for the next season.
Yep.
You know, which we've already talked about, probably them trying to take Mandalore and all that shit. But then it goes to the credits. And we're used to, for the past 15 episodes, chapters, having concept art with the credits. We have nothing. It's just stark black, credits are rolling, and then it stops.
Yeah.
And then we get this nice little pan into Jabba's palace.
So good.
Then we go into Jabba's palace.
The
And we're going
exact
down the
set.
stairs, seeing the fucking, oh my God. How did I forget their names? The Gamorrean guards.
Oh.
Yeah, we see the Gamorreans walking by, and then we get to the throne room. And who the fuck is on the throne? It's not Jabba, obviously. No, it's Bib Fortuna thinking he's Jabba. He's a giant now.
Yeah, he got heavy. And it's the same guy playing him that played him in the prequels.
What's that?
It's the same guy, actor playing him that played him in the prequels, too.
Wait, Bib Fortuna was in the prequels?
Yeah, when it showed
the
pod racing scene.
Yeah, it's so god, like it's just like holy shit, Bib Fortuna, we're back at Jabba's palace, and then it, just guards keep getting blasted. You just hear in the background people falling, and Bib Fortuna's like, we'll see what the fuck's going on. What the fuck are you doing? And then that's when we get to see the hell's her name, Fennec. Yeah, and then we see her just start taking people out, and then we get Boba Fett coming down the stairs. Like and we know what's going to happen, but it doesn't matter. We're watching like this the whole time.
And Bib Fortuna is just like, Boba! I thought you were dead. So good to see you.
Yeah.
Trying to talk
and he doesn't even fuck around. Typical Boba Fett shit. He does not fuck around. He just goes up, blasts him, and it's like, fuck you, guy.
Yeah, he's like, get out of my chair.
And he slowly sits on the throne, and What's Your Bucket comes back, and then just boom, the Book of Boba Fett coming 2021. And that's when we all lose our shit.
Yeah. It was like Conan the Barbarian sitting on his throne watching Boba.
Absolutely. That was a fucking power stance and a half. Especially with his sidekick sitting right next to him.
Ugh.
I'm so good.
Stoked. I'm so stoked. I love that Fennec Shan let the slave go too. Like that was a weird holdover that they kept, but I get it.
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense that he would, fall into the same vices.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited now. The Book of Boba Fett's coming next year, and it was released. Jon Favreau did an interview with, I think it was Good Morning America or something like that, where he said that the Mandalorian wouldn't return until 2022. And so they're doing production right after Book of Boba Fett ends production. And since Book of Boba Fett is coming at the Christmas of 2021, then Mandalorian's not going to come out until either spring, summer, or fall of 2022.
Yeah, I guess I glossed over that part. I did.
It would be
because originally it's like, oh my god, they're doing another show, they're doing a spinoff, and then it's like you think about it, and it's like, well, maybe that's just going to be the next saga in the Mandalorian because these are all chapters. So maybe the first two seasons were the Book of Din Djarin, and they're going to pick up the show with the Book of Boba Fett and do a couple chapters that way. But it is nice to know it's a separate story arc.
I do think it's going to be like a limited series. I think they'll do one season of the Book of Boba Fett, and that'll be that. It just feels like that way. And Rodriguez is doing it. Like, he's executive producing it. And he's the one that, like, once you watch the gallery episode of Mandalorian Season 2, it shows how passionate he was to show Boba Fett being a badass, and the time and attention he went into creating it. I mean, this guy just loves this character, and so to see him pick up the mantle for the second, for the Book of Boba Fett, it's gonna be awesome.
Well, and of course, like this is going to be like hyper Western, like it has to be
Mhm.
because of the context. And who better than Robert Rodriguez to do something like that?
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Yeah,
I don't even mind if The Mandalorian is delayed because of it, because I would love
that's
to see
worth it.
this. Totally worth it.
Totally, totally worth it.
All right, so are we ready for favorite moments here?
I think we are.
Is it the same? What's
It's
yours?
probably the same. The part where I got the last erection that I'll ever get, probably. Like
Every erection will be compared to that erection.
yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be that's what it is. It's like I'm surprised it even still works at this point. But god damn it, the second you see that cloak and the lightsaber comes out on his side, I said it at the beginning of the episode, that is what we have been waiting for since 1983. Like,
Yep.
that is Star Wars. That is just fuck.
Yeah.
That's everything.
That's definitely my favorite as well. It's the best. I want them to re-release a Black Series figure of this Luke Skywalker. I'd buy that shit in a second. I love it so much. Least favorite. What was your least favorite of this episode?
So just having to pick something, it would be Cara Dune and her fucking Jan Blaster.
Yeah.
Like it led nothing to the story. We already know she's a badass. We already know that she can just beat the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary.
It just felt out of place too. It was just
Well, what the
wonky.
fuck happened to her other blaster? Because she had a holdout or some shit that she was using, and then it's just gone.
I don't know.
So
She keistered it maybe. I have no idea. She's like, it'll take me too long to get it out.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, it just felt weird and out of place. So, oh well. One little dent in an otherwise flawless episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just fucking phenomenal. Okay, so this is the end of season 2. What are your hopes for what's coming next? Like, where do you want to go with The Mandalorian?
I feel like it'd be probably too early for it to happen, but I really want to see the retaking of Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
And get some flashbacks of the Siege of Mandalore, because that's the thing, like it is so built up in canon and legends, like the taking of Mandalore, we've never seen it in canon.
Mm-hmm.
We get little glimpses of the aftermath, but we haven't actually seen it happen. So I really hope that we do get some flashbacks of the final battle with the Empire taking them over.
Yeah. How Boba said the Empire turned it to glass.
Yeah, like I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they already show that they can successfully do that. Like, I mean, season 1's a perfect example, because they were doing constant flashbacks building up Din's character, and none of it felt forced, none of it felt rushed. It was all perfect to driving the character and the story. They could do it easily in this coming season.
I feel like I don't know how long The Mandalorian's going to go, but if it is 3 seasons or 4 seasons, if it's 4 seasons, I want there to be a huge culmination of all the side shows and everything to do the retaking of Mandalore as that 4th season. If Moff Gideon is really with the 7th Fleet, which his patch suggests, that means it's Thrawn's fleet. If they connect that, I want to see Thrawn fighting, trying to maintain control of Mandalore. Like
okay. So biggest hope, because all these were set up as spin-offs of the Mandalorian. Give us the Star Wars version of the Infinity War.
Yep.
With Thrawn as Thanos. Like all of these tying into just that final battle between the Chiss and these guys. Like I just want that huge crossover battle.
Hell yeah. Me too. That's gonna be badass.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta see it.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Thrawn in live action is just gonna be cool.
Oh yeah.
Just
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's anything else you wanted to hit on with this episode here?
No, I think we pretty much got it. It's just fucking perfect in every way.
I love it. I love this episode so much. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna go back to it in my head and just relive Luke Skywalker over and over again.
Mhm.
Thank you all so much for tuning in, both live and in chat. We invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and then share it if you think it's worthwhile. We now have a store for all your scruffy looking product needs.
Yeah, there you go.
I even have it written down and I still can't do it right. The link is in the
happens.
description of the video you're watching. And until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, may the Force be with you.
Icha McClunky.
What's up, Princess Minnie? Princess Minnie.